Brought a net to me. I did a walk through, they sent a jet to me. Y'all niggas show price less than my travel fee. One of my arms worth a ticket. Watch so much that a car came.
I get a man.
And it goes a little something like
I'll keep you warm all summer, and after fall, I'll keep you warm all summer.
Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm sitting down with Joshua Soyemi from Atlanta, Georgia. We've been waiting sitting down for a hot minute now. I told you guys about this video when I was sitting down with my girlfriend, and I just kind of wanted to sit down with you guys today. I'm still testing out the podcast equipment, but also get to know my good friend Josh.
Glad to be here, man. Glad to be here.
Awesome. How you doing today?
Man, I'm pretty good, man. It's a beautiful day out here in Alliance, Ohio. You know, would be a little warmer in Atlanta, Georgia, but you know, I got used to it out here. It's all right.
Yeah, for sure, man.
A little gray, but you know.
Always hating on Ohio. Always hating.
You know, it's all right. You get used to it though.
100%.
Pretty cool up here. Yeah.
Gotcha. 100%. So without further ado, we'll just dive into the questions. Just get to know Josh a little more.
Okay.
Down for that.
Excited to tell you guys about myself. So yeah, let's do it.
100%. So question number 1. What inspired you to start playing football, and how old were you when you first picked up a football?
Okay. Well, first, how old I was when I first picked up a football, it was probably around 6 or 7 years old, you know.
Wow.
Out in the park with, you know, your friends that your mom forced you to have. Just, you know, tossing the ball in the park. Other people out there throwing Frisbees. But, you know, I had fun just tossing the ball in the park and tackling. You know, little kids, you play around a lot, you get a little rough. So we were out there, like, tackling. So yeah, I had, like, so much fun doing that. I love just juking people out, using my little athleticism. I didn't know it was athleticism. You know, I thought I was just that guy. You know, I came out the womb thinking I was that guy. You know, so as a 6-year-old, I'm like, yeah, I'm that guy. I'm juking these people out. I just love the contact, the thrill of it, right? So, yeah, I first started playing when I was about 8 years old. I played for the TFL, Tucker Football League in Georgia. It was a very tough league at the time. I didn't play for their official rec team. They had a team called the Tucker Lions, but I guess it wasn't good enough at the time, or this was my first year playing. So so my mom, you know, she didn't want me playing football in the first place because, you know, it's a dangerous sport. Mm-hmm. I was a little kid. I was a little twig. I was a stick bug, right? So I was out there. My first time, they made me pick my helmet. It was an egg. It was busted up, and they told me, "Hey man, pick your jersey out of all these jersey numbers." So I'm looking at the ground. Okay. I see the numbers, and I see 44, and I picked 44 because my brother played football at the time. He wore number 34, and I always wanted to be like my brother when I was a little kid. I was always watching him. So, okay, 44. I'll pick number 44. And I went out there that year, and we didn't win a single game, okay? We didn't win a single game, okay? We went like 0-10. The season, it was bad, okay? It was bad, right? But you know, I ended up getting an award at the end of the year. It was called the Catch because I made a pretty spectacular catch. I got a picture of it. It's hung up on my wall in my room. It's a picture of me catching the ball, and we had a bad season, but throughout the year, I mean, I was a very good wide receiver. I got an award for it, and
this man peaked in Pee Wee.
I got a lot for you, man. Okay, but you know, I probably would have stopped playing after that year, but my coach, he saw me after the very end of the season, after all the awards. He stopped me and he talked to me. He was like, "Listen, man, I know we had a very bad season, but you were not on the right team." He said, "You're actually very good, and I believe you can do things." And he meant that, bro. He meant that. When he said it to me, I could tell he meant that. And solely because of that reason, I believe that's probably why I kept playing. So.
And you were 8 at this time?
8.
That's
gotta be crazy. Going on 9. was my 9th birthday. I remember that season.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So, and this is, what do you guys call it? Is it Pop Warner or down there? Is it midgets? What do you guys call it down there?
It's Pee Wee ball.
Oh,
Pee Wee ball, but it was a TFL. Like, it was a league of all these younger guys.
What does TFL stand for?
Tucker Football League.
Tucker Football League?
Tucker
Okay,
Football League.
so I
Still around
played
today.
midgets. We call it midget football.
Midget football?
Midget football.
Okay.
That's what we call it here in Ohio.
All right.
That's gotta be crazy. Like that coach is talking to you like that. Like,
yeah.
especially 8 years old.
It hit me hard, bro. I was like, wow, really?
That's
Okay,
awesome.
Well, then I'll keep at this. And I loved it, too. So.
Is that where you feel like the love for the game kind of started? Or is it kind of just like,
yeah, definitely there. Especially I played with one of my friends, Sterling Knowles. He was my QB at the time, and he later became my QB in high school. It's pretty cool.
Oh, Sterling Dimes?
Sterling Dimes.
Sterling Dimes.
Sterling
Okay.
Dimes.
Shout out Sterling Dimes.
If you want to call him that. Sterling Dimes. But yeah, Sterling. Yeah, he was there, and we had a lot of fun on that team, even though we went over 10.
That's
That's
awesome.
where
Man.
it started, yeah.
Was it like school affiliated, or was it kind of like just like affiliated?
No, it was a complete league of its own.
Like a club league thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
like a club.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll move on to the next question then. Can you share a memorable story from your very first football practice or game? Do you have any like? It doesn't be first. It's anything memorable from like early on.
Okay, anything memorable from early on? Well, I tell you, middle school football. Then from early on, middle school football. It was really a blur. I didn't like it. I was a fullback. And I remember this. This was very memorable for me because it showed me what football could really be like, right? So my coach looked at me. I remember we were at practice, and he's telling me, he's like, hey, man. It's just funny because I see him talking to the other coach. He's like, man, we need a fullback, someone to go in there and block. And I'm over here doing receiver drills. And for some reason, I heard them say my name. I look over. I'm like, please don't call me over there. And he's like, Soysauce. I'm like, so I run over. I'm like, what's up? He's like, get right here and hit that hole. And we're going up against the starting defense. This was like scout. So scout, we playing the starting defense. They trying to see what I can do. I'm like, dang, man, I got to go in there and block these linebackers. He said, yeah, just run up the gap, hit whoever you see first. And I'm small. Like, I'm not big at all. I'm one of the smallest guys on the team. Probably $120, to be honest.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And I just ran up there. I don't know. I just said, screw it. Ran up there full speed, and I made straight contact with these older guys. And I hit them hard. Or at least I tried to. I put my body in front of them. I mean, it stopped them. Okay, I did my job. I got in the way. And, yeah, man, that stuff hurt. But they looked at me and was like, yeah, he's the guy. He's the guy.
He's the guy.
I'm like, dang it. Because I just couldn't go in there and just not put my heart into that, even if I didn't want to do it. I just couldn't go in there and not put my heart into it in front of these guys. That's just not who I am. So I just went in there and I gave it my all, and that junk hurt. It was scary. But after that, I had to do it over and over again and over and over again. And eventually, you just can't be scared anymore,
Do you feel like you like learn to like appreciate like the team and like rather over like individual glory?
Yeah, and I think that's super important. A lot of guys think they're the main focus, the center of attention, but it's the best team sport in the world. You can't be the center of attention. You got to have some type of selflessness to your character if you want to play this game. I mean, I was kind of forced to learn that by just going in there and sacrificing my body for my team for something I didn't want to do. I knew I was a receiver, but it was okay. I would help my team out and do what I can to help us win. I wanted to win.
And so. Did you win in middle school? Were you guys all right in middle school?
We did not win. We did not win.
And did you get any carries?
Well, I wouldn't even remember because my head was getting banged around every play. It's a blur, like I said.
Oh, dang.
All middle school football was a blur. I played a little bit of receiver here and there, but I was underrated. People on the team, they were like, "Why don't they have you at receiver?" Well, it is what it is.
Okay.
It is what it is. But
how do you feel like it changed you, like your maturity from a young age? Because like you had to like put the team first and like, okay, I want to be a receiver, but like you're 13, 14 years old. Like how do you feel like that? Like did you have to like take a step back and like?
Well, yeah, because I mean, you go into here, you're expecting to get what you want. This is your first time doing something like this because, Pee Wee ball, they kind of throw you out there on any team. You get to play. You're gonna play. But middle school ball, you have to earn your spot for the very first time. So you get there, it's a lot to take in. It's like, wow, you're not just gonna get what you want here. You're gonna have to work for this type of stuff. And then when I also learned you just got to feel your role, I'm like, okay, well dang it, I'm not going to get what I want, and I got to do something I don't want to do. It's like all this stuff, when you're forced to go through all that, that builds your character because you come out, knowing how to deal with this type of stuff and just becoming better overall because you can deal with that type of thing. So you learn from that. You learn, yes, it's not all about me. It's a team game. And I got to fit my role and do what's best for the community, the people around me, the people I play with. So
That's really well said. And do you feel like, is it like, in terms of like, it's for the team, what inspires that for you? Is it like the community? Is it the boys? Is it like the coaches? What inspires like, I want to do this for the team? Like, is it because of the community? Is it because of the boys? Is it because of the coaches? Or is it for like a good heart in yourself? Like, how do you feel like that derives from?
Well, I think it's a little bit of everything. It has some heart in there. It has some community love. It has fan love. That's one of the bigger things I really like is just the fan love. People can just come together and just watch a football game. And if you can play for them, when you win, they can just take a break from all the distractions they have to deal with, and they can just enjoy a football game. And you can cause that, which is just something beautiful, honestly.
That's a great answer. I love that. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the next question. That was honestly a great answer.
Thank you.
So you already said your position was receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you start playing it? And have you always played this position? Or obviously you said you already switched. So how did you end up playing receiver? How did you know I'm a receiver? How'd that come to be?
Yeah, so after the catch award that I got in Pee Wee, it was pretty much ingrained in my brain that I'm a wide receiver. And it never left my head after that. In middle school, the entire time, I'm thinking, I'm a wide receiver. I remember the first time we went out there, the very first day we went on middle school drills, I lined up, I think it was first or one of the first, and I run my route. First thing coach said to me, he's like, that was a very good drill right there. Boom. That also ingrained it in my head even more. Yes, I'm a wide receiver. So I didn't really get to play a lot of wide receiver until late 8th grade, and I kind of went in, but I was, like I said, I was underrated, and I probably wasn't as good as I thought it was at the same time. But in high school, when I came out in high school, that's when the whole thing changed. I was a wide receiver. We have a lot of people on the team, so we're running indies, wide receiver drills, all that. And it didn't really click. It didn't really click until my sophomore year because I was all right, but I realized I saw how hard I'd have to work to, meet the level of these wide receivers that we have now, these seniors, these juniors, these older guys, these really older guys. So I said, okay, I'm going to come out here my sophomore year, and that's when I came out a complete wide receiver. That was my best wide receiver year, going up in there.
All right. You answered the question the fullest. I don't have anything to come back from that. But what was the most exciting game or moment from your college football career or high school career? Because we're still early on in our college career. So what's the most exciting game or moment from your football career, and why was it so special to you?
Okay, so I got a perfect answer for this.
Okay.
I haven't played
Wrong.
any college.
No, don't like it. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No, but I haven't played actually a game of college football. So sadly I can't give you a college football moment. So I'll have to run back to high school. We'll come back to this question in another year.
Absolutely.
But we'll go back to high school. Like I said, my sophomore year. So we're in a late game, very late game. We haven't scored yet. It's a very good team. We're in 7A Georgia football division. Very good team. We're in the late game and we haven't scored yet. And the coach, our head coach, Coach Zach Edwards, he says this, and during the timeout, he's like, "Hey, look," he says, "I don't care what's going on the scoreboard." He says, "If we score a touchdown, I want everybody to raid the field." We're like, okay, sounds good. So we go out on the field. We're driving down the ball. They call me out at receiver. I'm a sophomore. By this time, $145, $140, So they just call me out on the field. I'm like, okay, shoot, big moment. Okay. I go out on the field, these lights flashing in my eyes. This was really the first big moment. Flashing in my eyes. I'm in the huddle, and they call a play, and I'm the hot route. I'm like, oh. It was switch goes, and I was the X. Switch goes, so it was my hot route. I was supposed to cut underneath the slot receiver, and we're supposed to,
kind of like a seam, little seam,
yeah,
rub
seam, and throw it right up the seam off the rub. So I was like, shoot, this is a big moment. I'm like, no way I get the ball here. We run the route. We did it perfectly. The slot next to me was a senior. We did it perfectly. I look up. I turn my head, and I see the quarterback looking straight at me, launching it. Just launching it. I'm like, oh. I'm like, oh. That ball is really coming to me right now. This is my first big moment, right? I'm like, I better not drop this. I swear the ball was in the air for a solid hour. I promise you it was in the air for a solid hour. I was watching it the entire way through. It was slow motion. Boom, it hit my hands perfectly. And then some dude grabs me by my legs, and I kind of fight off of him a little bit and fall. And I look down, and I'm in the end zone. All right. And before I can even get up and celebrate, the receiver on the other side comes by, tackles me, boom. I'm on the ground. I'm like, okay, dang. And I look to my right. The entire team is just monsooning onto the field. And I'm like, no. I swear I get taken over. They dogpiled me so bad I couldn't breathe. I was actually nervous for my life for a moment. I swear to you. I was on the bottom of that pile. I was screaming, I can't breathe. And you just hear my friend Ross, get off of him. Get off of him. I'm like, I get up. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then they just pick me up. And I just did the only thing I knew to do was just, parade my hand up. Yeah. And yeah, that was just a crazy moment.
Do you have that on video at all?
I do have it on video.
You should send it to me. I'll put the clip in while you're explaining
the clip.
For sure.
It's pretty crazy.
That sounds awesome, man. That sounds like movie, like Hollywood.
That's what it felt like. I mean, I at that moment I thought I was the MC. I thought I was the main character. Nothing can stop me at this point.
Heck yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a crazy story, a crazy memory
man.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's so cool. What team was this though? Like were they like ranked? Or were they that good?
They were. It was Forsyth. They were a team in the mountains, and they were just full of big boys. And all teams are good in Georgia, especially 7A football. So they were just one of those good teams, just like all the other teams we played that year.
Dang, it's definitely surprising then.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm definitely excited to see that play.
We lost though. Bad. It's okay though.
All right, next question. What's the most challenging aspect of being a college football player, both on and off the field?
Definitely the switch from high school to college is the first thing. You're not the main guy anymore, right? You have to learn how to fight for your spot. You're not just going to get your spot when you come here. It doesn't care how many stars you have. You're not going to get your spot when you come here. You got to fight for your spot. There's people who've been here for years. 4 years. 5 years.
7 years.
7 years.
You know what we're talking about.
Yeah. but I mean, it's like, yeah, you got to fight for your spot. That's the one thing. And the next thing is the difference between being a student athlete in high school and college. Student athlete in high school, you can get away with it pretty easy. I mean, but in college, I mean, it's the real deal. You got to do both of these. You got to get your studies right or you're going to flunk out. And this is real life. So lock in. But at the same time, you got to play football. You can't be on the field not knowing your assignments, messing up, not knowing the plays, or you can't play football. So you got to be able to do both of these. And it's a lot harder in college than it is in high school.
100%. It's really a full-time job, like, compared to high school. High school, it's like, it's just your season, and, like, you've optional, at least for, how it was for my high school, was in-season, everything's required. Off-season, show up if you want. Obviously, it's encouraged that you show up, but it's all optional. But, like, in college, it's like, the only breaks we have are breaks. But also, like, if you're a starter on the team, you're not going home for break. Like, you're not going home for Thanksgiving. You're not going home for fall. Like, after, and then obviously if you're on the Stag Bowl roster, we make it to the national championship. Like you're still gone for that week.
Yeah,
like
you're barely making it home for Christmas.
Yeah, you miss a week of winter break, and then we as soon as you get back from winter break, boom, you hop right into like spring like lifts, and then you have spring ball. That whole month of April, like April and May. It's like that whole month, 16 practices at the D3 level. There's no spring game, unfortunately, but yeah, like it's a job.
Yeah, it's definitely a job, and I mean, you just gotta get used to it, or you're just not gonna make it. I mean, it's a lot of time.
100%.
It's a lot of time. You know, not to mention fall camp, but.
Well, another thing too is like in terms of off the field, it's like it's so easy to flunk out in college, but also it's so easy to get a good grade. As long as you show up to class, let's say you do none of the schoolwork. As long as you show up to class, you're gonna get a C, because half the classes are like attendance is a grade. So as long as you show up, you're gonna get a C. But a lot of guys aren't willing to do that.
They don't even show up to class. They don't even get out to bed.
Especially being an RA, with freshmen, like half my hall doesn't go to class. Like it's like a lot of freshmen that don't make it at the college level. Like it's because they don't go to class. Like you can be a great football player, but if you don't go to class and go to your basic gen eds and pass, like you're not gonna be on the team.
Come on, man. You gotta think about this stuff, man. This isn't high school, man.
100%. We even had our coach shout out a guy last year. My receiver coach last year, he left to work in the NFL, but he shouted a guy that was like he was like, this guy's probably gonna be on varsity next year, but he didn't want to go to class. Now he's gone. He was also a really good sprinter on our track team. He's gone. He didn't want to go to class. I mean, like it just shows right there. Like he had potentially been on varsity this year, but instead didn't want to go to class.
Yeah, you gotta do both.
100%. Next question then is, can you tell us a time that you faced adversity or setbacks in your football journey and how you overcame them?
Yeah, well, I've had a lot of setbacks, especially with injuries, and the way you overcome them, you just got to get through them, You got to find a way to get through it, and when you do, like I said, you come out on the other side a better person. So I can talk about one injury I had my junior year. Something I didn't know was possible. This was right after COVID. Really confusing time period right there. But this season we only had like 8 games. And I'm thinking I only have 8 games to get my film up enough to try to get recruited this year, because I didn't want to be on the back end of recruitment my senior year and be stressing about that. So I said, I got to get my film up this year somehow, some way. And I remember it was something I never even knew existed. I had bruised my coccyx, which is the bone all the way in your back, all the way at the bottom. And
like tailbone?
Your tailbone.
Tailbone. He used a big scientific word for tailbone.
Your coccyx, your tailbone, yes. Foundations of Human Movement. Thank you, Dr. Barrett.
Love that guy, actually.
Yeah.
38.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I had bruised my coccyx. And the thing about that is it hurts when you make cuts. Every movement you make, really. Any aggressive motion in your hips, it hurts. So that entire summer, really throughout quarantine, I was like working my butt off as hard as I ever have before. Because this was after my sophomore year when I started to actually think, yeah, I can do this. I'm going to put in the work. I mean, I had nothing but time. Quarantine, you're just stuck at the house. So I said, okay, I'm going to put in the work. So I went out there with sticks and then ladders and then cones and pine cones. I was, doing everything out there. And I was so ready for the season. And I was already upset. We only had 8 games. But I was so ready for the season, and my coccyx got bruised. And it just limited my game in like half. And I could still play, but I knew if I kept playing, it was going to feel that way for the majority of the season, and my film would look mediocre. But my coach was so against this. He actually called me selfish in the middle of a huddle because I decided I was not going to play with my coccyx like this. I was going to take the shorter recovery. I was going to take the recovery so I can play better towards the end of the season rather than playing the entire season and having mediocre film for the most of the season because of my coccyx. And I also thought I can play better for my team like this. And he called me selfish, but I had learned I had to make the decision for myself that it's a better idea to do this so I can play better for my team and I can have better film. I weighed the pros and cons.
100%. So, like, did you end up talking to the coach after the injury? Like, about, like, hey, like, that was, like, wrong of you to say that? Like, I'm actually hurting. And, like, but then when you came back, did you say anything when you came back?
Well, that entire season, I was pretty, I didn't forget that, the entire season I was kind of wonky about it, but I remember we did have a little conversation after. It didn't really change much for me, but
he tried to change what he said? Like, he take it, like...
Yeah, he tried to, put it more into perspective, which is respectable. But it wasn't until the next season when I came out really fully healthy again. Very first preseason game, at the end when I had a very good game, he said, number 14 is back. And I was like, okay, I appreciate it. I can respect it.
That's awesome.
So
for sure. I haven't brought this question up yet, but I feel like this is probably a good time to bring it in. So you were thinking about your film, obviously, in terms of your injury and getting that film for college. Mm-hmm. When did you make the decisions? Like, okay, I kind of want to pursue a career in this and like pursue college ball. Like, when was like that? When was that decision made?
Pee wee ball. Now I told you it was in my head since Pee wee ball, ingrained, like hard coded that. Man, I'm gonna take this thing all the way, bro. So.
Okay. Even
through middle school, I'm like, man, it doesn't matter. I'm going to find a way. High school, I'm going to find a way into college football. That's just, it's going to happen because it has to happen. It will happen.
So if I would have asked 8-year-old Joshua, he would have said?
He would have said, I'm going to the league.
That's a great answer. That's awesome.
He would have said, get my Rolls Royce ready.
And do you feel like it's because of that Pee Wee coach that believed in you so much? Or do you feel like it was just like you succeeding so well at it, like having a natural talent for it? Or a mixture of both? Yeah, it's a mixture of both and a mixture of a different type of liking to it. At the time, I just really liked it. So it was a different type of liking to it. It was something new and thrilling for me. So, and then add that to what the coach said to me after, it felt like God was speaking through him. He was looking me into my soul saying this to me. I'm like, okay, I hear you, I feel you. And from that moment, man, it's like a hard code into my brain, bro. That's awesome. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So I kind of already spoiled the next question, but who has been the most influential coach or mentor in your football journey, and what lessons have you learned from them?
Most influential coach in my journey?
Coach Foltz. Okay.
Definitely not.
Okay. All right.
Let's hope that's never an official thing.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I better just drop out.
Okay. The most influential coach is my mother, to be completely honest.
Mother. Okay. Why is that? Just reading cover 3, cover 2 with you?
She's yeah. No, she tries.
That's awesome.
No, she tries, but I mean, she's taught me more about anything than any coach has. I want to give my appreciation to Coach Paul. He was my receiver coach, and I love the way he worked with me. He was the first coach to really sit there and work with me at receiver, and he knew I had something in me. He told me that. Coach Bice. Coach Bice, a great coach. He was one of my younger middle school coaches, the coach that said, "Hey, man, nice route." And he had it in me. I know Coach Bice to this day. I was at summer workouts. Just saw him out there coaching up the middle school team. Dapped him up. Was out there with the younger guys. But Coach Bice, Coach Poff, two biggest coaches, I'd say. Two receiver coaches. But, yeah, other than that, my mom has the crown on that one. The tiara, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, tiara's cool.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Sounds like a great lady.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's like it's wholesome. It's wholesome.
Is it wholesome?
It's wholesome.
Oh, my bad. It's a little hard.
Okay. Are there any football traditions or rituals you and your teammates follow before games? Ignore Caleb. Ignores texts, calls. Don't talk to him. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Don't talk to anybody.
Don't talk to anybody.
Nobody matters but this moment.
And the football.
In the football team. So you better lock in on that like it's your life. So, yeah, no. Don't talk to anybody.
Okay.
Don't scroll through Snapchat. Don't scroll through Instagram.
So off social media, you just like lock in on the.
Yeah. Got the playlist going.
Good.
Got little baby going.
Little baby
in your ears.
Are you someone that like
Taylor Swift? What?
Taylor Swift is actually really good, especially now that she's with.
Yeah.
Are you someone that like loads your mind up with like football knowledge before a game, or are you someone that like, completely relaxes? Like, do you study your playbook like a million?
No. I make sure that I have everything ingrained and locked in. I mean, I do everything.
What? Okay.
Nothing. Let's just continuing.
Okay.
I gotta make sure I got everything locked in, right? I mean,
Locked in.
I will make sure I know all the plays, all the keys, the hot routes. I gotta make sure I know everything about the opponent. Especially now, I want to make sure I know everything about the opponent. I want to know how that guy sleeps at night. Okay, I don't know about all that.
Well, I agree with you, though. I agree.
But I want to know the smallest step he takes. I want to know what that means for him, bro. If I go out there, I want to be as prepared as I can be because, that's how you win.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I not want to do that and go out there and half-ass it? And just, I don't want to do that. I want to be fully prepared when I'm out there so I can have full confidence in what I can do on the field.
Yeah.
So I have to do all that, and then I got to watch some highlights.
Okay.
Get it in your head, a little the excitement,
100%. That's awesome.
Some Tavon Austin.
Tavon, yeah.
He's
the go-to. He's the go-to.
But
on that same note, though, like, me and Soysauce have both played offense and defense during our high school careers. I played a little bit of strong safety, free safety. I played corner early on. Even in my midget football days, I played linebacker. And then, Soy, you were a corner or a safety?
I was a corner, free safety, and I was going to be a stud.
Okay.
But that play didn't get implemented.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, on that note, it's like Soy really helped me out with like knowing that you're a receiver, but like know what the DBs are gonna do. Like learn the coverages. I didn't even think about that because my high school we ran a lot of like cover one, mostly cover three. With having a small farm boy town team, it's like you can't do a whole lot. And I even tried to like pick at my defensive coordinator's brain because he was actually my math teacher as well. And he was just someone that would watch like some of the better small town teams in the state. Like Marion Local is like a really, really well known. Like they're like the Mount Union of Division VII high school football. But Soy really emphasized with me is like learn the coverages. Look at what you like. Yeah, know your route, know your play, but like know what you can do against this coverage. Like learn how to get open. Like you're running a post, but how can you get open against cover two, cover three? Like is there two safeties, one safety? And like I owe Soy for that because that really helped me during fall camp. And like I feel like I made a huge jump because one, I feel stronger, faster, more athletic. But now I actually have that knowledge because I was kind of just like I'm just gonna run a post, but no, like now I actually know like the coverages and like
exactly.
And me and him recently followed this guy on Instagram. I can't remember his name at the moment, but like we're gonna lock in and watch some of his videos because he has some good stuff.
Yeah, he has some really good stuff. I mean, all of that is good stuff.
I'll post his Instagram tag here if you guys are interested in watching his content.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll move on to the next question. What are your goals and aspirations in football beyond college?
Well, the number one plan is to play professionally, and that's been the plan, like I said, for a while now. So, and I'm at the right place for it. You know,
100%.
we got a lot of eyes here. So,
Yeah.
you know, by God, I've made it here, and I'm gonna make it to the next level as well. So,
And like, is it like NFL or bust for you? Are you willing to play in the XFL arena? Like what? Like obviously NFL, but
you
like,
know, well nowadays, you can make it a lot of different ways. But at the end of the day, you know, I will have to make it professionally in the NFL.
Okay.
Whatever route that may take me is.
So you're willing to play in other leagues?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But
Okay.
it won't come down to that.
Okay. I like the confidence.
Yeah.
100%. See, for me, I'm like, I just want to keep playing. Like, and like that's how I feel like I don't have the athletic ability to. Like, obviously, you believe in yourself, but for me, it's a reality check of like I'm a role player. I'm a team guy, and I'm willing to like either go overseas. I'm willing to do YouTube and like use YouTube as a way to pay for my like football career. So that's why I'm willing to like play semi-pro back home. So for me, it's not like I just want to keep playing. I really don't care the level or anything like that. But I respect like the NFL, like going for it all, man. But like there's sometimes you go like you gotta see reality, and that's kind of where I'm at. And also, I just love this YouTube and podcasting thing, and so I really want to pursue this as a grind as
Yeah,
well.
man. Follow your heart, and that will take you to the highest mountaintop, bro. Promise you.
I really love that. That actually warmed my heart up a little bit.
Another wholesome moment.
Wholesome moment. Yeah, he's actually a jerk. I'm not gonna lie. Soy's a jerk.
Oh, listen, I'm a great guy.
Oh, speaking of soy, so his nickname's Soysauce.
Yes.
Do you want to explain that story of how you got soy sauce?
Yeah, I'll explain that. So that started middle school, you know. So we were before practice doing roll call, and Coach Holloway, you know, the funniest guy ever, bro. Always had a joke or two in his back pocket that he could just pull out and flex on you. But Coach Holloway came out, and he's going through the roll, and he says my name. He's like, Joshua Soyemi. Like, man, what the even is that? Everybody started laughing. I'm like, okay, this fuck. Bleep that out. But I'm like, okay, this guy. He's like, what? He's like, what is that? It sounds like soy sauce. Everybody like, yeah, bro, it do. I'm like, and I explained it to him. I always explain it to him. It's a Nigerian name, Nigerian background. At first, I didn't like it, but you know, now I love it. But at first, I didn't like the nickname either. I'm like, okay, this guy called me soy sauce. And then everybody else started saying it. Soy sauce, soy sauce. I'm like, bro, at first it's a joke, but then I started liking it. Because then, you know, I started making a little bit of plays. And he's saying, okay, soy sauce, okay, soy. I'm like, that's kind of cool, that's kind of clean. And then it kind of just latched itself on to the football player that I was, you know what I'm saying? And that's who that football player is. It's like, it's soy sauce. At that point, it kind of just latched itself onto my back, and it's just been there ever since. It followed me to high school. I don't even know how. I don't remember how, but head coach, everybody calling me soy sauce, soy. Even when they mad at me, punch me in my visor. It's like soy, boom, punch me in my visor. You can't wear that visor. I told you about
Yeah,
that.
you told me that story. Yeah,
Yeah, but it just latched on to me, bro.
it's kind of like embedded with your soul. Soy sauce.
Yeah, and I feel like that's just my football player right there.
That's kind of how I feel about like CF3, and like for me, my nickname. So everybody called me Fultzy back home, and no one called me Fultzy. Everybody just calls me Caleb. Or
It's a little weird, isn't it?
yeah, so, yeah. And some guys call me CF3 here, and like it feels weird.
It
feels
is.
weird.
It is.
But I feel
weird.
like CF3 is like part of me. I feel like this YouTube channel is like it's part of who I am. I love it.
Yeah, keep it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah.
So that's a crazy story. I already knew it, but I wanted you guys to hear it. So
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll finish up with a couple more questions. How has being a football player impacted your life and shaped your character?
Shoot, man, I wouldn't be half the guy I am, half the man I am.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
Cause you just got to go through so much stuff just to get to where we are now. I mean, football just can teach you a lot about yourself and a lot about other people. It's just, and it really can prepare you for a lot of different things that a lot of other people just wouldn't be ready for. You know, you're just a lot stronger of a person, and not even with muscle and all that.
Just the
you know,
mentality.
mentality. You know, you got a strong character if you play football, bro, and you had to go through it.
Do you remember EP, number 80 last year? He was a fifth-year senior. He was shorter guy, played slot. EP. Eric Pride was his name. We're number 80. It's okay if you don't remember him.
I think I do.
Josh was hurt for most of last season.
Yeah.
Eric Pride was someone that never really got a lot of playing time, from what I know from him. But he did get some crap time towards the end of each game, and he had a major role in the Capital game last year as well. He was the main slot last year. He told me middle of the season is that football will teach you more about life than anything else. Just like your work ethic, the kind of person you want to be. I believe now he's doing real estate. He owns a bunch of houses. He's renting them all out, doing really well for himself. I think he was a business major. I'm not sure exactly on that, but I know that's what he's doing now. But he always was seeking for some respect in football because I feel like he had unfinished business, and I hope his career ended like he wanted it to, because that man worked hard. He also had but he had angry short guy energy. I'm not gonna lie, he was a very angry short guy. So if you're watching this, I'm sorry for saying that, but I really appreciate that, because that's definitely gonna stick with me, and also I'm gonna use it when I go to coach.
Yeah, well, that football experience, it probably helped him in some way that he sees nowadays, and it's probably helped him for the better, you know.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. What's your favorite football-related memory with your teammates off the field?
Off of the field.
Off the field.
Was it senior night? It was I think it was our last game. It was our last game. I remember this because I was in a sling.
Got hurt, right? Soft, right?
So I got hurt at halftime at my last game, you know. Yeah, Cupcake messing up those guys. Absolutely just destroying them. We went out there and wrecked that team. But after, we all went to Waffle House, and we actually took the pylon from the field. We took it, jigged it. Ross ran off with that jump. And we went to Waffle House, and we're sitting in Waffle House, and we all signed it with a Sharpie. And we all got up and said something that we enjoyed, something that we're going to miss. All at the Waffle House eating. And we gave it to Ross. And that was the last time we were all, together like that. That was a pretty special moment.
That's really cool. Do you have anything from that moment you want to say in detail, or is it kind of just with you the boy moment?
It's one of those with the boys moments,
Okay.
One of those with the boys moments. It'll be in my head, forever. So
that's awesome.
Sorry, you guys can't see it in my head.
Yeah. And then last question, finally, can you describe the camaraderie and brotherhood you've experienced with your college football teammates or high school football teammates, or even the difference between the camaraderie?
I mean, you can have all your high school friends, but with a football player, you can have a brother, because you went out there and sacrificed yourself for him, and he sacrificed himself for you. You just can't get that with a lot of other things, man. What, in basketball, what are you doing? You just passing the ball to your homie so he can lay it up?
Lay it up.
What is he sacrificing for you, bro? The point? I just don't. I'm not taking a hit on basketball players.
We definitely are. I don't like basketball players either.
Yeah, what he said. But, you going out there throwing your body
on the line.
On the line.
To the side.
To the side. He threw his body to the side. But, they're going out there doing that for you, bro. There's something, even on defense, I wasn't even a big blocking type of guy. But if I know my homeboy is behind me, and I know what he got, and I know he might crib this, if I just destroy this kid in front of me, I'm like, bet, I'm going to destroy this kid. And then just talking about moments like that after with them, you're like, yeah, I saw you in front of me, and I knew he was going to block him. Hell yeah, I blocked him. And I took it to the crib. And then stuff like that, bro. It's just you can't get that with nobody
Smacking
else.
Dudes in the mouth. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, bro. You can't get that with nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you got brothers on the football team, man.
That's awesome. For me, in the culture I was in my high school, it's always my teammates always knew what I had in me, because they knew, because being from a small town, bullying's obviously everybody knows everybody kind of thing, and everyone was always kind of doubting our team, even though we were always decent. We went 8-2 my senior year. This year I think we went 6-4 or something like that. But being from a small town like that, my teammates always knew I could do better. So, like, even when I PR in the weight room, they're like, Caleb, you can bench so much more. Like, I had an interception one time. I was on JV my sophomore year against a pretty solid Van Buren team. They're a division above us, a bigger school. And I caught like the 40-yard line. I intercepted a post, caught it like at my knees. It was low ball. And I got tackled at the 10-yard line by an offensive lineman. And the whole time we just broke down what I could have done better on the interception. Because, I took the kid's ankles.
Yeah.
And but then I ran right into the stomach of an offensive lineman because I wasn't looking. I was looking to my right instead of straight
Yeah,
in.
bro.
And my buddy, who actually got me into football, Grady, you guys know that from previous videos, he spent the whole time, like, if you would have just followed me, if you would have just done this, like, and my teammates, they did that my entire career. Was like, Caleb, you have so much more in you.
And imagine how much better that made you, like, having all these people just try to build you up like that.
100%, yeah.
Like, that's...
Mm-hmm. Well, even here at the college level, it's like being able to talk to Wayne Ruby, who's getting looked at by NFL scouts, having you to work with me one-on-one. And then we have a lot of, like, 4th years and 5th year guys that haven't seen the field but have been under so many different coaches, different experiences. We have transfers coming in and out, and getting all those different inputs and experiences. There's another reason I do this podcast and doing my YouTube channels. I want to get everyone's story out there along with my own. Like, you see so many different, like, I guess I'm going to put it in a really dumb English way, but life walks. Like, everybody walks their life differently. It's like, it's so cool to get those different experiences. Like, that's why Josh on here. Josh from Atlanta, Georgia. Like, massive city. I'm from a small little village in Ohio.
How do you think I felt coming to Ohio? I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what the hell was going on up here. Yeah. But, you know, you see all these different experiences from different people. Kind of opens your mind a little bit.
100%. And, like, you wouldn't think there's, like, great football up here, but there is. Like, there's great football in Ohio. Yeah.
I mean, it started here.
Yeah, so. Yeah, it did. I mean, we're 20 minutes from where football started in Canton, Ohio.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's super cool.
Have you been to the Hall of Fame?
I did. I got there. I went there when I first came here. Yeah. So I have been to the Hall of Fame. I got a little helmet.
Did you know that's where our we play our state championship games in high school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's bro, if I was able to play at the Hall of Fame field, I mean, 3 TDs, 300 yards. You got to, bro.
Do you also know the Stag Bowl's played there?
Is it this year?
Well, it moved back to Salem, Virginia, but it was played there for the last, like, 3-4 years.
It was.
Yeah, but then it moved to the Naval Academy last year.
I don't know why they did that.
Yeah, but the Hall of Fame stadium is nice, dude. It's nice.
I gotta see that. I didn't really see the stadium.
I was there on a Boy Scout trip in 2018. We went with my best friend, and they had the new Madden set up in a PS4. It was so fun. We played Madden for like an hour. Yeah, it was sweet.
Dang, that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Dang.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just such a blessing to be a college football player and just, like, to keep going on this journey. But it's never easy. Like, it's just never.
Yeah, no, it's not easy. But, you know, not everything's gonna be easy.
Yeah. You really gotta love football. Like, you gotta love it to keep going, because there can be so much hate from people. There's so many voices, and then also just battling your own head and, like, your own mindset and your own body, because your body wants to quit, but you gotta just keep going.
Yeah, there's so many different factors to it, but
like, I seriously almost considered quitting football over a broken pinky. Like, I was like, I don't even want to play anymore.
Yeah. And that's a mental battle on its own. Apart from the physical damage, it's a whole mental battle with yourself that you just got to get through. I mean, the hard makes you harder. So you got to go through the hard, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the mental and the physical. But on the other side, you come out stronger every single time.
100%. Absolutely. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I just love football, dude.
Yeah, bro, it's got everything. I mean, come on, bro. It's perfect. And America loves football. We all love football.
We all love football.
Come on.
But not gonna lie, though, it's growing in other countries. I've never researched it growing in other countries.
Yeah, we move into Europe. Don't we have like a field in like Japan or something? I might be highballing that. But, you know.
You talking about NFL or talking about like what?
The NFL.
I don't know about Japan, but I know there's in like the UK.
Yeah,
there's
the UK. There's definitely one of those.
Yeah, but no, it's growing everywhere, man. Like it really is. But I mean, we'll close out this podcast. So, Soy, do you have any closing remarks or anything?
Whatever you guys want to do, screw what everybody else has to say about it. Go out there and do it. And have fun when you do it. That's all I gotta say.
That was really well said. I love it.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I appreciate you boys watching. If you guys want to see another video with Soy, like this video, leave some comments or some questions when we ask him. Like I said, I kind of just chat GPT up some stuff. Chat GPT is great, by the way.
That's broken.
It's broken. Yeah, like I said, it's great, man. I'm really enjoying doing this stuff. I have 2 more people coming as of next week as I'm making this video, but I'm not sure at what point I'll be posting this video. But if you guys want to see Soy again, like, comment some questions. I appreciate y'all boys. And I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Tune in.